And hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 81 of the CheckX series. If you're new here, as I say every day, the CheckX series is pretty much all about me, your host, Ivan. Hold on, let me fix you guys there. Me, your host, Ivan, talk about everything that Elon posted on X the day before. And unfortunately, yesterday I did miss, so we're going to include a couple of the posts that he talked about the day before, and combined with yesterday's stuff. But the Check X is pretty much all about me talking about everything that Elon discusses the day before. And today we're going to talk about what he discussed yesterday on Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, and a little bit from February 17th as well, since I missed that day. I was a little bit busy. But yeah. To pretty much not keep this intro too long and to get right into the episode here. To start off this segment, to start off this episode as we usually do, talking about Tesla, autonomous driving, and robotics. To start off the segment, the first production cybercab has rolled off the line in Giga, Texas, and Elon confirmed that Tesla will sell a cybercab to a customer for $30,000 less before 2027, which is a big ask, but maybe they can do it. A point on which he has a public bet with YouTuber Marquez Brownlee, which is going to be pretty interesting. Excuse me. But talking about FSD and safety, or full self-driving, Elon encouraged people to try Tesla self-driving, calling it awesome, and he supported the view that autonomous vehicles will save lives, noting that human drivers currently average 110 deaths per day in the U.S. And moving on to LiDAR limitations, Elon reiterated that LiDAR does not work well in heavy precipitation, talking about snow, rain, or dust specifically, due to reflection scatter. And also, Elon expressed optimism about a future with 10 billion humanoid robots by 2045, agreeing with projections that 5 million robots working 24/7 could build Manhattan in just 6 months. 6 months, gentlemen. That is insanity. But moving on, Elon confirmed that the Boring Company, last but not least here, landed a bid for a Tesla-powered loop system at the Universal Orlando Resort. But moving on to SpaceX and space technology here. To start off this segment, Elon confirmed that SpaceX is using its cyclotron facility in Florida for radiation testing on data centers chip hardware intended for space use, specifically. And Elon also noted that SpaceX has a massive presence in Florida, which serves as their biggest launch complex, obviously, on the Florida Space Coast, and the site of the Starship Heat Shield Factory. And moving on, Elon highlighted that in 2026, SpaceX has out-launched the rest of the world combined. No surprise there. But moving on to XAI and Grok 4.20, Grok 420 here, a couple things to talk about here, and Grok 4.2. Starting off the segment, Elon said that the Grok 4.2 public beta, the Grok 420 public beta is now available, and Elon described it as a order of magnitude smarter and faster than Grok 4, utilizing a native multi-agent system of 4 specialized replicas, Grok/Captain, Harper, Benjamin, and Lucas are the names. And moving on, Elon also noted that users can now upload medical data or pictures for a second opinion from Grok. But Elon also predicted that Grok will soon be able to one-shot code complex websites or apps, which would be super cool, obviously. And last but not least here, Elon emphasized that the model's foundation allows it to improve every single week. But moving on, talking about AI ideology and wokeness, pretty much moving into the politics segment of this video, ladies and gentlemen. But to start off this segment, talking about the woke threat, Elon repeatedly stated that Grok must win to prevent humanity from being ruled on by an insufferably woke and sanctimonious AI, and also Elon criticized competitors like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude for what he perceives as political bias, such as refusing to misgender a celebrity even to prevent a nuclear apocalypse, or failing to acknowledge certain historical massacres. And last two things here, Elon agreed that Grok is more logically consistent on sensitive social issues such as racial pride and affirmative action. And last but not least, as I said, Elon shared posts noting that OpenAI removed safely and no financial motive from its mission statement. Pretty interesting and totally coincidental, honestly. I never knew that they would say that. I mean, because, OpenAI is still shooting for those things. I guess they just want to make their mission statement shorter and easier to read, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's for the dyslexic. Whoa. All right, moving on to talking about social, political, and demographic issues. But to start off this segment, Elon expressed deep concern over population collapse, agreeing that birth rates are fixed. You guys there? There we go. That birth rates are crashing, and comparing the situation to a comet striking statistically, and also Elon criticized white extinctionism, white eraser in media, such as race swapping historical figures, for example, like Joan of Arc, and affirmative action, which he believes now discriminates entirely against one race. And also, agreed with criticisms of mass migration in Europe by labeling the current situations in countries like Spain, Ireland, and the UK as diabolical or extinctionist. And moving on, Elon also reposting concerns regarding the lack of voter ID requirements for voting in California. Lack of ID requirements for voting in California and the Commonwealth loophole that allows non-citizens to vote in UK elections. But Elon also, last but not least here for the episode, called to make asylums great again, arguing that violent criminals who plead insanity should be confined to asylums rather than released. And ladies and gentlemen, as I said just like 20 seconds ago, this pretty much wraps up episode number 81 of the CheckX series. If you guys made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you guys for watching. And if I could steal just a little bit of your time, I recommend going down below and dropping a like, dropping a comment, and subscribing. And if you haven't already, if I could steal even more of your time, perhaps today, I recommend going back and watching some of the other recent CheckX episodes just to get a nice little sequence of events on what Elon was saying if you are really that interested in this series. And if you are, I really dearly appreciate that. Hope you stay for a while. But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this episode, and I will see you later.